Good morning, Year 4. We are going to be starting our new topic, and yes, we are going to be looking at time. Now, this is the perfect thing to learn at home because all of you, I'm hoping, will have a clock somewhere in your house where you can practice looking at it, telling the time. It's a perfect thing to be doing during this time. Right, guys, any and all clocks are split into quarters. So we have half down there and a quarter across here. Now, when we're looking at the larger hand, the long hand, when that is pointing at the top of the clock towards 12, call that o'clock. So that's the start of a new hour. When the larger hand is pointing towards the first quarter of our clock over this side, we call that quarter past because 1/4 of the clock has passed. When the larger hand is pointing at the bottom of our clock, at the 6, we call that half past because we've had 1/4 and now we've had a half go past. When our larger hand is pointing at the 9 over this way, so we've had 1, 2, 3/4 past, but instead of saying 3/4 past, we say a quarter to, because there is a quarter to the next hour. So we've got o'clock, quarter past, half past, and quarter to. So remember, when we've gone past half past, we're looking towards the next hour that's going to come next. Right, I've got a clock here that I'm going to put some times on, and I'd like you to say what time you think it is. So what time do you think it is on this clock? Yes, if we're just looking at that minute hand right now, that is o'clock. So we're just looking at that longer hand, the minute hand right now, that's looking at o'clock. If I move that minute hand and I put it, let's go over here. Right, you can see now, have a think about what time that is. Yes, that is quarter to. So we've got o'clock and we've had quarter to so far. Move it over this way. Right. What is the minute hand pointing at now? We've had o'clock, we've had quarter to. Think about the clock we've looked at before. What time is it on that clock? Yes, it is quarter past. A quarter of that clock has gone. A quarter of the hour has passed. And then half that clock has passed, so half past. Right, now we're going to start looking at the hour hand as well. So we have the minute hand, which is the longer hand, and the hour hand, which is the shorter hand. Right now, it is 5 o'clock on my clock, and you can see that my minute hand is pointing up towards the 12, so we know it's o'clock, and the short hand is pointing directly at the 5 right now, so it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to move my hand, my minute hand, round one full rotation. Watch what happens to my shorter hand, my hour hand. Ooh. So there, I'm sure you noticed when I moved my minute hand round the clock one full rotation, the hour hand moved from the 5 to the 6. So it's changed, it's now 6 o'clock rather than 5 o'clock. So one full rotation of the minute hand means that our hand moves one place round. So when I move my minute hand over to quarter past, we all know that we will call this quarter past 6 because a quarter of the hour has gone. It's a quarter past 6. When I move my minute hand down towards the bottom of my clock, it is half past 6 because half of the hour is gone. When I move my hand round again, so now, because we're looking towards the next hour, my hour hand is nearly at that 7. It's not quite there yet, So we call it a quarter to 7 because a quarter of the time to go before it's 7 o'clock. And then we've got the next hour, 7 o'clock. Right, this is the first set of questions on your My Maths work. I'm going to work through these and I want you to have a go at them as well. This clock is helping you because you can see on there that it's got o'clock, quarter past, half past and quarter to. So all you need to remember really is that longer hand is the hand that's going to be telling you about the minutes. So the longer hand is the minutes. I can see that's looking at half past. So I need to change to half past. Now it's half past what? So I can see that it's half past that 1 hour over there. So I'm going to put half past 1. Right, now I'm looking at this one and I can see my minute hand is past. It's on that 3, so it's a quarter past. Right, and the hour hand is just past that 3, so it's a quarter past 3. Right, looking at this one over here, I can see that it's pointing my minute hand at a quarter to. And this time, because we've gone past half past and we're looking at a quarter to, I'm looking where the hour hand is nearly at. So I can see it's nearly at 5. So I can see that it's quarter to 5. Well done, me. So you can see there that I'm looking at the minute hand first to decide whether it's o'clock, quarter past, half past, or quarter to. Then I'm looking at my hour hand. If it's before half past, I'm looking at what the hour hand was before. If I'm looking at after half past, so quarter to, I'm looking at where that hour hand is nearly at. Right, for your second set of My Maths questions, you need to be looking at what the analog clock would look like if it was like this one down here, so a digital clock. So when you've got those people that, you know, there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So one half, so half past has gone. There we go. So half past is equal to 30 minutes. So you can see there that that 7 stays, and we've got half past 7 on the clock here, or 7:30 underneath. When we're looking at a quarter past, we can see, because that's, again, a quarter of 60 is equal to 15. So 15 minutes have passed. So it's 7:15. And then when I'm looking at a quarter to, I'm looking at 7:45, because when I'm looking at, so this is quarter to 8, but on my digital clock, it's 7:45, because it's 15 minutes before I get to 8 o'clock. When I'm at 8 o'clock, you can see there that I've got 0 minutes past 8 o'clock. So your next set of questions look a little bit like this. So there'll be different times on yours. So I'm going to work mine out here. So I'm looking at my hour hand this time first. Right, I can see that my hour hand is on 7. Then I need to put a colon in between. And I know that when it's looking at o'clock, there are 0 minutes, past 7. Right, when I'm looking at this one, looking at my hour hand, it was at 9, it's just after 9, so it's still 9th hour, colon, and I'm going 5, 10, 15 minutes. 1 quarter of 60, quarter of the clock past, 15 minutes. Then I'm looking at this one, right, it's just after that 2, so it's still on the 2nd hour, colon, and half past. Half of 60 is 30. Let's check when I'm counting my 5s around the clock. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Check. Brilliant. Well done, me. So, looking at this today, guys, time is one of those things that we can either grasp really quickly and we'll be away with it, or it might take a couple of practices. Best thing to do at home is consistently ask your adult what time it is and tell them what time you think it is, and then that's how you'll learn the best with this time. All the best, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.